Guys, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you're a college football fan. So after Miami's loss to Texas A&M last night, it's time to answer the question. Does Miami suck? Are they overrated? Are they undeserving of being a top team? I would have to say no. Look, it's Mario Cristobal's first year, you know? And I know I did my little trolling video afterwards, but this is my down-to-earth, outside of being a Seminole fan, because they hate the Canes, right? Opinion. And I think most of you would have to agree with me here. Miami is still a really good football team. They have the athletes. Texas A&M is just a team that's had Coach Fisher there, who's won a national championship, who's done everything in college football, almost everything, right? A guy that's been recruiting so good. So, and it's at A&M. It's very hard to play at Texas A&M. Alabama went to Texas A&M last year with a better team than what Miami has now, and they still lost. So I don't think Miami has anything bad to feel bad about, you know? If you look at the offense, I mean, I know they had a hard time blocking Texas A&M. Most teams are going to have a hard time blocking Texas A&M. When they play Alabama in a couple of weeks, or 3 weeks, or whatever they play, they're going to have a hard time with them, all right? That's just what it is. I think Alabama will beat them simply because they've had better recruiting classes and better players, and a coach who's been there long enough and who probably is better than Mario Cristobal. Nothing against Cristobal, but you know what I mean, right? So, no, by no means do I think Miami sucks. Now, do I think Florida State has a realistic chance of beating Miami after watching that game? You always do if you're a Florida State team. If you're Florida State, whether it's at Miami or Tallahassee, I still don't think Florida State will beat them simply because it's at Miami. I mean, you know, Tyler Van Dyke is going to have that game circled, as the whole team will, so that's just my opinion. But I will say that Miami's a pretty good team. They didn't get dominated the whole time. It's just one simple thing, like I said it would be, the line of scrimmage. I didn't think Miami could block Texas A&M. Now, granted, I don't think A&M had any sacks last night, but still, they got to Tyler Van Dyke. They harassed him. They affected his passing ability. And it's just A&M's whole defense is really, really good. It's an elite defense. Probably the second best defense in the SEC behind Georgia's. So I don't think it's that Miami sucks. It's just A&M was just really hard to deal with at A&M. And A&M's defense did really good. If you look closely, Miami, offensively, they didn't play a bad game. They ran for like 80, 90, I think almost 100 yards, something like that. And Tyler Van Dyke didn't throw any interceptions in that game. So that tells me Miami's actually a pretty darn good team. They just need to keep playing hard. They'll grow. They'll get better together. And it sounds cheesy, but that's just what it is. That's just my honest opinion. So by no means do they suck. By no means they can't be a top 10 team to finish the season. By no means can they not make it to a New Year's Six and probably win it this year. So they're going to get better. I still think they could beat Clemson because, like I said, they're going to get better, and that's later in the year. And I think, personally, A&M's defense is better than Clemson's all the way around. Georgia Tech wouldn't have been able to move the ball at all against Texas A&M, and they couldn't do it against Ole Miss. And statistically, Clemson's supposed to have the best defense, or one of the best defenses in the nation, so you get my point. But yeah, Miami just need to keep their heads up and keep playing, you know? They're a good football team. That's just being dead honest, you know? If they lose again, it would take a bad night from Tyler Van Dyke and for Miami to overlook their next opponent that they lose to. If they do lose again, that's what it would take. But if they show up, play hard, and play with the same intensity like they did last night, they'll be just fine. That's my honest opinion on that, coming from a Seminole fan.